Hello and welcome. Today on BOI Weekly, Federal Government of Nigeria opens Customer Care Command Center to coordinate its social intervention program, Trader Money, giving a heavy cycle and rate of loan disbursements and repayments happening simultaneously and with no fewer than 4,000 enumerating agents nationwide working tirelessly to capture traders onto the program. The center is set up to monitor the program's operations across the country. Vice President Professor Osinbajo, who personally supervises the initiative being executed by the Bank of Industry, was there to commission the facility. I am Kayode Alayode. Welcome to the program. The Government Enterprise and Empowerment Program, Jeep Trader Money, is the microcredit scheme run as an integral part of the federal government's financial inclusion drive, targeted specifically at market women, artisans and farmers, as well as other Nigerians at the bottom of the pyramid. Jeep Trader Money is a subset of the Government Enterprise and Empowerment Program, one of the many social intervention schemes of the current administration. So far, the initiative has touched roughly 1.4 million beneficiaries across the country. But as the disbursements grow, the federal government, in partnership with the Bank of Industry, continues to figure out creative ways to ensure that the scheme remains robust and relevant. That's why it came up with the Trader Money Command Center, domiciled at the Bank of Industry Tower in Abuja. The Trader Money Command Center is the back-end infrastructure and brain box of the entire program. It serves as a hub to monitor data analytics, social media engagement, disbursement and repayments, call center, and the coordination hub for over 4,000 enumerators spread across the country, daily enlisting beneficiaries onto the program. Today is a special day as the Trader Money Command Center is being commissioned. The executive hierarchy of the Bank of Industry is here, ensuring that everything goes smoothly as they await the Vice President, Professor Osinbajo, who is to commission the center. Soon the Vice President arrives and the program gets underway. The Chairman, Board of Directors, Bank of Industry, Mr. Abdul Rahman Diko, welcomes the Vice President.
In the last 1 year, we have increased disbursement to micro, small and medium enterprises by about 42%. We have also trained artisans in gemstone cleaning, about 1,600 artisans, just to be able to also contribute to the diversification of the economy, and this we will continue to do. Let me finally, Your Excellency, assure you that the board and management will continue to pursue policies that will give credit to micro and small enterprises where we see employment generating capacity. So with these few remarks, Your Excellency, we welcome you to the Bank of Industry.
Thank you very much.
The MD CEO, Bank of Industry, Mr. Oluka takes the opportunity to brief the Vice President on some of the bank's most recent achievements.
And we're happy with what has happened in the last few years. With the support of the government, been able to raise money. For the very first time, the DFI was able to raise $750 million because of the support that we've gotten from government. This year, at the end of the day, we'll have disbursed close to 200 billion naira to various businesses, both micro, small, medium enterprises, and the large. We've been able to put a lot of Nigerians back at work. We can't say thank you enough. So once again, you're welcome to Bank of Industry. Thank you, Your Excellency.
The Trader Money Command Center itself is the Vice President's idea, which is now being executed. Next, the Executive Director, Micro Enterprises at the Bank of Industry, Mrs. Toyin Adeniji, under whose directorate the Trader Money Initiative is being run, shows the VP how the command center is structured, as she and the Chief Operating Officer for JEEP, Mr. Uzoma Nwagba, lead the Vice President and the entourage through the operational process.
When the program started, His Excellency made it very clear that he wanted this whole process to be driven by data and with a lot of integrity. So what we did was we created a very strong engine room to support the program, because you will agree that in trying to reach 2 million people in a short period of time at the bottom of the pyramid, it has to be supported with technology, and it's not something that can be manually driven. So we got to work, and because we had our umbrella, the Government Enterprise and Empowerment Program, which is one of the programs under the social intervention programs, we're able to quickly roll it out. And so what this experience center is where we get a feel of the program. If you take time to look at the walls, every single box on the walls behind us is a testimony. It's a real-life testimony from the field, and it's all across Nigeria. If you look at this wall right here, it's the value chain. It shows the step-by-step process. How does the petty trader get their 10,000 naira? So it starts with enumeration, and the process takes you where the enumerators go on the field. They register at the point of trade, and they take pictures. We're actually the first program in Nigeria to use visual recognition to identify unique, because if we take a picture of you, nobody else can have those parameters. We're going to go to iris recognition, but we don't have the time and we don't have the funds. But we do take people at their point of trade, and they get into our system. No one person, for Trader Money, no one person using the same, we do checks to make sure that no one person gets recorded twice.
What happens is that the agents go to the markets that we have been to, and everybody who has received a text message from the program, the agent's job is to cash them out. So they receive a message that says you have money on your mobile wallet. That mobile wallet is like a bank account, essentially. The job of the agent is to then convert that money into cash, so that they don't have to walk to any bank to do their repayments. We have about 4,000 agents across the country today. Each of those agents each agent runs a small business on their own. They're essentially a cash management entity. So each agent has to have a little bit of working capital, and they're going into the market. So Folake, for example, has 40,000 naira in her hands. And so when she goes to meet a trader, the trader literally sends that money into Folake's own mobile wallet, and Folake hands her 10,000 naira. But then what happens is that the agent gets a compensation for each successful cash out that they do. So if an agent gets, say, 100 naira per cash out, that means that if they do 100 cash outs, they will get paid 10,000 naira. And that's how they are able to run an enterprise that keeps them going.
What we experience there is what happens on the field. We have petty traders who have gotten loans. But the question is, how do we track these people? How do we understand it? How do we monitor what's going on? How do we also monitor public sentiment about the program? How do we answer questions that are asked? How do we deal with the back end post-disbursement? So what you're seeing here is essentially a subset of some of our dashboards. And I will start with the engine room in terms of the counts. So we have this tracked aggressively, where we know how many people have been enumerated, how many disbursements. So these disbursements applied and disbursed, these are updated after verifications. So some of these numbers you see, we have a small backlog that's not been verified. So it's verified, and then we track it accordingly. And then the amount that's disbursed, we can also track real time by value chain, how many people have been disbursed, what value chain they are into, what kind of trade they are involved in. And then you can see individual candidates. Just looking one by one, you can see every individual candidate. So today you can see the enumeration in Lagos, how many have applied, how many have been disbursed to, and how much has been disbursed. Then you can also see the breakdown by local governments. Top 10 local governments. The first Talimosho, then Mushin, then Oshodi. If you hover over this one, you just hover over the graphs. You can see the actual counts. You can also scroll through to see the clusters. We'll replace the screenshot here. You can see the top 10 clusters. There is Wood, the Kotu market, Mushin markets, Ojuoye markets. There's Oshodi Arena. Please over this one. Abuleba markets and so on. Yes, sir. Now, next thing is the social media component. So we always want to do sentiment analysis. What are people saying about the program? This is real time, it's unfiltered. As we are speaking to you, this is conversation that is going on about trader money. Sometimes you see criticism pop up, sometimes you see, and if there's a question, we have a social media team here. The job of the social media team here and behind is to answer questions. We have a scripted set of FAQs, so it's not going to be random or off the cuff. We have a very regimented way we answer questions about the program. So they take a question and they answer it. Because we have a lot of data and we have a lot of analytics, we staff our contact center based on the volumes of calls and the languages that people prefer. So at a certain point, about 60% of our calls were people speaking Hausa. So 60% of our contact center was staffed in Hausa. It kind of mirrors the movement of the program based on how we moved across the years. Now it's mostly stabilized. So we have each of these agents who is proficient in one of 4 languages: Hausa, Igbo, Pidgin, and Yoruba. And they are quick to make sure that we answer questions. We get a volume of calls close to 1,000 to 1,200 every single day.
Since it's a national program, the call center responds to queries in the major languages spoken across the country, namely English, Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, and the Pidgin English, a corrupt version of the English language.